you working it out on the gram. I think I looked up. I think I was on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. And you had like this messed up hairstyle. You had sweat going down your cheeks and all that. What was going on in that moment, right?
Yeah, 40
Describe
happened.
yourself.
I'm like, yeah, 40 happened, and I did the big chop, cut my hair,
Wait,
and
wait. Tell them again. You said what happened?
40,
You turned 40. Okay.
turned 40. And just that whole epiphany, a lot of things happened in that year. I lost a few people, just a lot happened,
Hmm.
mentally, just going through stuff. And
Right.
that epiphany of where would my health be in 20 years?
Mm.
I'm 40 now, so 20 years is not that long from.
Right.
And then I started thinking my dad passed away at 66. That's not too long from, like I said, from where I'm at.
Hmm.
So therefore, just you start looking at everything around you and everybody around you, their health. And I just really honestly believe that we are a product of what we're around and what we're raised instead of, we just have to change our minds. And that's exactly what I did. I decided to change my mind about health and about what I wanted my health to be.
Mm.
I went vegan, um, alkaline vegan. I didn't even know what I was doing. I
But
didn't,
you gotta start somewhere. Sometimes you just gotta throw yourself on out there and just wing it.
and I did. My niece friend she was an alkaline vegan. She sent
Okay.
me over a cookbook,
Okay.
and I cooked a couple things off of the cookbook. I did a couple of research on Instagram, start following people. This
Okay.
other girl, I brought a cookbook from her. Um, and I wasn't even working out at the time. Actually, it was literally my mindset at this point was what I'm putting in my body. I want to reverse the things that's around me. You know what I mean? All my sisters are not small anymore. Some of them are over what they consider overweight.
Hmm.
Um, so this is the reality. Like, you don't stay the way you were. You know what I mean? Um, you have to maintain things
That's it. You
different.
gotta maintain it. That's it.
Yeah,
Mm.
you know what I mean? And you got to realize that if you're eating the same stuff that we were raised on all these years, that this is what's going to happen. You're going to gain the weight.
And then not to mention when you get older, people are is not as active as they were when they were younger. Some
Yeah.
people you got a job, you sitting behind a desk all day. You're really not as active. Or when you get home, you're around the house, you're not going out, being active. So,
Yes.
all of that food and all of that stuff piled on top of that, now you just kind of chilling. Then yeah, things may lose touch a little bit. Yeah.
Right. And with that being said, like I said, it's just like I just wanted to change. And I have a daughter, and I seen her going through weight issues already, and I just didn't want her. I wanted to be an example for her, to be honest. You know what I mean? That mommy went through this before, as long as I can remember. You know what I mean? And if I can do something to help show you different, then
Mm.
I'm gonna change for you. And not only that, I want to be healthy in 20 years. I want to be not on a machine. I don't want to be with diabetes. I don't want to be, you know what I
Mm.
mean? I want to reverse some things if I could. If I could prevent things, that was my mindset. You know what I mean? To preventative health. You know what I mean? Be as healthy as I can in 20 years.
So let me ask you this. This is the this is the $1 billion question. Now, what prompted you? What mind state? What was in your head the moment you said, "Yo, I'm about to start this kick-ass vegan shit. Okay, I'm about to do this, and we gonna take this everywhere." So, what thought came in your head? Like,
Well, being a vegan, last year, I became a vegan, and it wasn't a lot of things out there, to be honest. So when I would see festivals or little things, I would try to go to these things so I can try to get some good food, like, you know what I mean? Because I was literally eating,
beans.
nothing or what I made, you know what I mean? And at the time, I was, like I said, alkaline, so I was excited to try other things.
Okay.
So I would go to some of these festivals and I would have some really good food and some not so good food. And I'm all like, okay, I was making some alkaline food that was really good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pretty darn good. So I'm like, and I bridged. I was like, I'm not going to be able to get my family to eat alkaline. It was just way too strict.
Mm.
So my mindset was that I wanted my family to enjoy the food that I cook like they would normally, you know. So I started to go in there and experiment in my kitchen, start doing things as I normally would when I
Okay.
wasn't a vegan,
Right.
but use all vegan product.
Mm.
And so when I started doing that and my food started to taste just or the same or very close to the you know what it used to taste like, my family would eat it. And so when they started eating it and they were so against it, I'm all like, well, dang, I could feed the world, you know? I could.
So real quick, tell the people. You told me about the moment when you convinced yourself you was gonna do the alkaline vegan thing. How you went to the house, you opened up all the cabinets and the refrigerators, and you threw all that shit out.
Threw everything away.
Everything.
I
Now,
mean,
look, let me ask you this. Let me ask
seasoning.
you this. When people are really serious about doing something like that, do you suggest that? Is that something that you suggest people do?
No. I did extreme. I mean, but it was my only way. It was my way. You know what I'm saying? No one is gonna you know, I'm not saying you can't do it,
Right.
but that's extreme. You know what I mean? For one, it's not cost efficient. I didn't understand that what I was doing starting from scratch with seasonings and everything. I spent $800 on my first store run because
Wow.
I didn't have anything.
Right.
So, you know, and I was making things from scratch. So I was buying all flours, all grains, all, you know, things that I've never brought like that. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I used to buy canned beans, you know, now I'm buying them, you know, putting them in jars and
Right.
stuff. So things were totally different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, I shopped 90% of my food at the time was in produce. You know,
That's what I tell people. 85 to 90% in the produce section.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Really,
that's
all
what
this shit be in the produce section. Really.
well, you know, with my kick-ass vegan, I have to dibble and dabble everywhere. so so that I can provide the best food possible for my people.
Right.
You
I got
know.
you.
But yeah, it was definitely I wouldn't say to go extreme. I wouldn't even say go alkaline but I will honestly tell you that if you're trying to heal something in your body, alkaline is the only way. You know what I'm saying? Vegan, of course, will is preventative, but being an alkaline vegan, you can reverse things. You
Straight
can
up.
heal your body
Right.
and reverse things and do research. You don't have to go by me. Do your own research. And that's the thing. That's the power of the internet and research and material that's out there is that it will show you that a lot of things that we thought are totally different. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
I got two questions. So one question I want to ask you is like, so how did you feel once you saw, like, you did your first event, like you saw that idea kind of come into fruition? And then my second question is this: what event did you do where you was like, okay, I feel like I'm here. I done made it. This the people that accepted me. You know, we roll.
Okay. So this is how the whole kick-ass vegan took place, and it went so fast.
Okay.
It was like the thought process went, and I had like other names, and then the kick-ass just came in and it stuck, and I'm like, it's gritty, it's a little, you know, a little out there,
Gangster. It's a little gangster.
it's a little gangster, you know, and I still get the side eye sometimes from church people, you know what I'm saying? And the funny part is the kids love it,
But
you
you
know?
know what? They eat your food though, right?
Yes,
They eat that food though, right?
yes, they will. But you know, and it's all. I'm like, we're at an era where names, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the business. It's all about the food, and that's what my goal was to have really good food. I want it to be like a transitional vegan spot, like you know, where I can be appealing to everybody,
Right.
not just the stronghold vegans. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, I want the everyday person who's not a vegan to be like, dang, her food is just really good.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that gives that whole thought process. Now I just implanted a seed into the person who's never been vegan. Well, dang, her food is good. I could probably do this.
There you go.
You know?
I
And
can
that
probably
was
do it
my
on my own.
goal. That was my goal. I wanted to be that seed. You know?